Okay, so in the last class we were discussing about the super global arrays. Okay, so in this topic arrays compulsory question. Okay, about arrays, different types of arrays, and also the super global variables. We should able to write the code for that. And you just have the difference between for each, okay, and also for the for looping statement. And this is a syntax. Today I think for one program I am going to use for each. Okay, so where you are going to specify the name of the array followed by the key and key or the value. So either you can specify directly. So this loop will execute as long as the elements are there in this particular array. Okay, once it reaches the end of the array, so it will stop the execution. It will come out of the loop. That is for each. So where is depending on the context where you have to use this, so accordingly you can use either for or for each. Okay, let me just skip and I told you people to go through these functions. Okay, some of the function I have shown in the last class with respect to array, what are the functions or operations you can apply. Then we started with the super global arrays, and in this we have discussed only two. One is $get and $post. So let me just continue. Okay, continue with two more variables. Okay, so super global variables. One is I'll go with the request and also the server today. Okay, so get post is done and remaining files we'll discuss in the next class. We are going to discuss all this, and this $global, it is mainly used for declaring the variables globally. Okay, and you can access anywhere within the program. So that's also you can just try. But here today I'll be covering mainly request and server. Anyhow, I have already done what is get and post with code. Okay, in case if you have missed, you just go back and check it. Okay, let me just go to request. And next class we'll be discussing about the cookies and all. How to create session cookies. Okay, so by this time everybody clear with dollar post and dollar get, no? And when you have to go for dollar get and when you have to go for dollar post, so what are the advantage of that? Okay, so you should able to write a program for this. Okay, where you have to create a form, okay, and specify the method. Accordingly you have to use this global array variable to access the form element. Okay, so there should be a correspondence between get and post. So whenever if you have specified method as get, then you have to use the get method. If you are trying to use post here, in that case you will not be able to get the output. Okay, that we have already seen. Similarly, the post method, post variable. So whenever if form method is defined post, see by this time everybody should be knowing what is the difference between get and post. Okay, whenever you are creating form, so you should know what is the advantage of going for post, when you have to use post, what are the limitation of get method, all those things. Okay, so now in addition to this, we have one more method called request. Okay, so what is this request else? So here in PHP, dollar request variable contains contents of both get and post. Okay, and dollar cookie. Okay, so as now just hold cookie. Just concentrate on $get and $post. Okay. So now what is when you have to use this $get variable? Okay, when you have to use $get variable. Sorry. So $get variable can be used to get the result from a data sent with both get and post method. Okay, are you getting the understood the statement? See, whenever if you have specified for method as either get or post. Okay, so for method if you have specified either get or post. So what I told in the according to the previous global variables $get and post, if you are using a $get, okay, so if you are using get method, then the correspondence in PHP when you are trying to access the elements submitted or uh, submitted by the user through form, okay, you can just get it using a $get variable. Okay, similarly for $post. So here we have one more special a variable post, a special variable called $request. Okay, so using this $request, you can access any element, okay, any variable value, either that is defined with get method or post method. So it is least bother about either use it a get method or post method. You can equally access using $get. Okay, so if you want, let me go to the code. You can, I'm just creating one file, so where I'll demonstrate so how you can make use of a request variable to access the elements, either it is submitted through get method or post method. Okay, so let me just quickly create one program, request.php. Okay, I think this one we have already executed here instead of password. Okay, let it be password, it is not going to be a problem. Okay, instead of password, let me put it as a text. Okay, so now let me just show you first with a get. This is already done. I am just showing how you can make use of this request variable. Just save it. I've already switched on the control panel. The server is running. Localhost. Just to go back here. Refresh. Okay. So you can just see my file. Request. So there is an error. Student. Okay. This error. Read the error. Undefined array key student. Okay, and also here I have not created, I'll just change the file name. You can here what you can do is when you are creating this type of program, you can create this separate form HTML page, okay, and there you can just specify the PHP file. Okay, here I am just directly creating the PHP, so I have to give the same name. So we'll do one program separately. We'll create HTML file and also the PHP part. So here I'm just embedding both in a single file. So request.php. Refresh. Still it is showing error warning. Last class also I had the same problem. Okay, let me see. Anyhow, it is in a warning. We'll see what we can do. Okay, here I will be just giving my name. Okay, so I am able to get it. So how I did this? Using a get and so method when I specified it as a get. So obviously I need to display. I can access that value submitted by the form. Okay, using $get variable. Okay, I cannot use here post. In case if you use, we'll see what happens. Okay, so this is same thing I face. That is a warning. Let me just. Can you see? I am not able to access because I'm not able to display or I'm not able to access and display on the browser. Okay, it is not happening because there is a mismatch in the method specified here. So here it is get and here it is post. Whenever if you are using the form elements, form information, if it is submitted through get method, then you have to use get function only. Okay, so now I can access. Similarly, you can just change this back to post. Okay, so we checked that it was not able to display or access the element information that is submitted through form. So now I'll let me make it here post. It should work. And also at the same time check the URL. You can see when you are using get, so the value or the query in the submitted in the form of query string. In URL you can see whatever the data you have sent. Okay, now you can carefully observe I am using post method. So this is the basic one we are doing so many times. What is the name I gave? Request. Okay, so let me just give. Can you see here in the URL? Your observation should be in the URL when you want to compare both request and post. So you can see when you are using post method, the values are not uh, submitted through the URL. Okay, you cannot see the values. So that is how like you should be knowing where exactly you have to use get and post. So that's why the post method is secure. When you are like the information password, some credentials when you are submitting, it should not pass through the URL. If that is the case, what happens? So the like unauthorized person or the third person may misuse that information. Okay, so now get post is done. Now what I will do, so I told there should be a one-to-one correspondence. Now I'll keep the method as post. Let me just go for request. So what I told in the request, so you can use request variable, yeah, that can be used to get the result from the data sent by the client with both get and post method. Okay, so here you need to write request. Okay, it should be in capital letter only. You cannot write in small case. Small case does not work. These are all predefined arrays. Okay, am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you just keep responding, otherwise I'll think that I am disconnected. Okay, so let me just go back to the file. I'll come back here. Request. Okay. You just check in your system also you are getting this warning. I told I'll check it why I'm getting this warning. Okay, can you see? I am still able to access. So that is what dollar get. Oh, sorry, dollar request. So here I've used post. Still I am able to access the information that is submitted through the form. Let me just change to get. Here it can be either. Here it can be either it is small case or capital, does not matter. But this is predefined array. Okay. So the predefined variable, you cannot change the case. It should be in capital. We'll see that also. Okay, you can just access it. So that is how the request can be used. Okay, regardless of the method used is get or post, you can access the form data using dollar request. Okay, very simple. Okay, so let me just change this to lowercase. Still it works. It won't work. Get an error. Can you see here there is a trying to access array offset value type null. Okay, line number 14. This is a previous warning. Undefined variable dollar request. Okay, so undefined. It is telling that request is undefined. So you just change back to capital letter. Refresh the page. So that error is gone. So that is how you cannot change the case. Okay, if it is predefined, you have to use the uppercase only. Is it clear? The dollar request. So whenever if you are explaining about dollar get and post, you can just add this statement also. Okay, so you can make use of dollar underscore request variable. So that can be used to get the result from the form data sent with both get and post methods. Okay, very simple. And just write one statement. That is when I am telling when you are explaining about dollar get and dollar post. Okay. In the textbook also they have given. You can just refer the textbook also. And you write like this type of code when you are explaining these variables. Okay, post and get variables, and also the PHP part. Or you can write the complete program. Okay, this HTML part is not required. You just write form and PHP part. Okay, so that's all about request. Next, let me move on to the another program that is with respect to the server. Okay, so if you want to know the server details, okay, so for that you have to use dollar server. So this is an array containing information about the request and the server details. Okay, so where you will be able to get the server details. So normally when you are doing HTML or when you are working with the HTML, so most of the time you will try to access these server detail information. In that you are already familiar with some of the information. So let's see what and all information you can fetch from this array. Okay, so for that we need to write a piece of code using PHP. Let me just go to the description, what is there with respect to server array, then I'll go to the program. See, when you were explaining form, get and post, so you should be very specific with respect to how the data is passed. Okay, so you should write all these things. So this flow of explanation is required when you are explaining the methods, and more focus should be the code part. Okay, whatever theory you write, sometimes you may not get good marks. Okay, you will be getting partial marks. That's why when you are learning any programming language, give importance to the code. Okay, so this is Okay, so server array. So what and all the information this array contains? $server, so it is an associative array. What is the meaning of associative array here? Can somebody tell quickly? What do you mean by associative array here? Or you tell me generally what is associative array? Unmute yourself or use chat box to do something quickly. I am waiting for your answer. What is associative array? In the previous class, I have executed programs, explained what is associative array, okay, modifying the elements using different functions with respect to associative array. Yes, somebody respond, no? What is associative array? No response. Ajay, can you tell what do you mean by associative array? What you know, you just explain. Yes. Quickly. Lakshmi Shravani. See, unmute yourself and answer it. Okay. Otherwise, if you are not responding, I will not consider the attendance. Okay. When I call your names, if you are not answering, so I will just mark it as absent. Do you want that? Yes. What do you mean by associative array? Anybody else? Ritvik. I think I have spent 2 hours to explain this associative array. I mean, in 2 class, I've explained this.
Contains key and value.
Anusha, little bit louder.
It contains key and value pair.
Okay, very good. So that is the answer. Key value pair. Okay. So associative array means the normal named array means it will be having only the values. Okay. So no key, only values it will be there. In associative array, what happens? It will be having the key and the corresponding value. Okay, that is called as an associative array. So here server array is also a special associative array and it contains HTTP request header information. Okay, that is sent by the client. So for example here, and here you can just see these whatever the keys you are going to specify, those are all case sensitive. Okay, so now itself I told request, if you write in lowercase, it won't recognize. Okay, the software won't recognize, you will get an error undefined. Okay, so these are all predefined, so that means it is a case sensitive. So here you can specify, this is an array. Okay, so you can just observe here $_server, this is an array. Okay, whenever you want to access element, normally you will use square bracket, no? Square bracket, if it is named array, you will specify the index. Okay, index of the array. So here we are using associative array, you can directly specify the key name. So here key name, only some of the things are listed here. When we execute, you will come to know what are the all possible keys are there. Okay, the server name, that means when you are I am running PHP program, no? Okay, what is the server I am using, that name it is going to display. Similarly, server software. Okay, what is the remote address? Okay, so here as of now, whatever the program I am executing, I am not connected to any remote system, I am just connected to the local system. Okay, so in that case, what will be the address? The like the client address and server address, it will be same. Okay, so in case if you are connected to the remote server, remote system, then you will be able to get the remote system address. Okay, so using remote ADDR. Okay, so this is a special array. You can just see whatever it is given in the square bracket, these are all keys. When you echo it, you will be able to fetch the value assigned to each of these keys. Okay. Yes. So from where it is going to get? It is going to get these details from HTTP request header. You can just observe here. Here they have listed only few of the keys, that is server request time, what time that particular program it is requested the server to access or to perform particular operation, then HTTP user agent, then HTTP what is the connection status, then request method, which is the request method is used, what is the server protocol used. Okay, you can just see the answer is here, date. Okay, this is the agent. Okay, that is indicating what type of browser it is used. Then HTTP connection. Okay, so is it connected or connection like connected or not? So that is going to specified in this particular variable. Then request method is post. Then server protocol used is HTTP. Okay, then server host is, that is HTTP host. Okay, so what is the website address you're going to you're executing that, so that is going to display. Then HTTP accept encoding, like what type of encoding it is using to transmit the data. Okay, so this is how even the port number, server address, server name, everything you can try to access using this super global array. So where it will be storing all the complete information about the server. Okay, so let's do one program and we'll check what are the all possible values we can get it. Okay, so here I will directly write the PHP code. So I don't want to embed any HTML is not required. Just will write a simple program for that. So I'm going to create a program for server. So I think I have already one program. Server1.php. Okay, give any file name and it should be stored in HTTP docs. I have a subfolder PHP examples. There I'm storing. Okay, and ensure that the control panel is okay. Exam control panel is running. Okay, if you are not started, then you cannot run this program, PHP program. It requires the server should be in running state. So let's quickly write code for this. So here I'll use for each. Okay, so that you will be learning about for each. This is a basic syntax. I have not written. You just observe. I have not written this. This is a basic syntax I am getting. Later I will change the whatever the input it is given for each. You just click on this. You will get this the basic syntax. Now variable name. What is the variable name I am going to use here? So it is once again start with a dollar underscore server. It should be in capital server. Yes. Okay. Key value. I told this is associative array. It will be having key and the corresponding value. If you want, you can specify only key. That also works. So here as of now, let it be like this key value. Now I'll try to echo. I'll try to echo dollar key. I want to display what is the key. Okay. So use dot operator and give some space or hyphen followed by you can go for value. Okay. And give dot break because you will be getting so many going to get so many array elements here. So let it be each line get separated or each line let it be printed in a new line. Okay, this much you need to write to know what and all information that is stored in the okay server array. Just save it. Go to the browser. Just refresh. Okay, server 1. Can you see? This is output what I got when I displayed the elements of HTTP array. You can just go through each of these. To the session details. What is a HTTP host? That is, I'm using localhost. Okay. HTTP connection. So that means my server status. It's running. That is keep alive. Then so here it is giving the Chrome details, the browser details. Okay. So like that you are getting so much of information related to the server. Okay. You can just see server name. It is localhost. Server software. Okay. I'm using Apache. Then what is the operating system I am using? Okay, what is the software version I am using? Then server address here. So here I am getting ::1. Okay, so because I am running this actually when you are running in real time you will get the IPv4 or IPv6 address. Okay, this is I am running in localhost. That is the reason I am getting the address like this. Then what is the server port I am using? It is 443. Then remote address once again it is 1 because I am running in the same system. That's why the remote address is also same as the server address. Then what is the path, the document root, where exactly you are storing this file. Okay, so that is htdocs. Then request scheme is https. You can just go through all these details. Okay, so this is how you can access the complete server details. Okay, complete server details. So this is instead of all this, if you are interested only in a uh, particular variable details. So in that case, you can just give that name. So that is server name. Let me just copy this here. So if you don't want to display all the information, if you are very specific with a particular detail, so you can just give the specified whichever the data you want, you can specify it in the square bracket. Okay, you will be able to fetch only that information. Just save it, go back to browser and check it. Are you able to access that? Okay, there is an error, undefined. 1 minute. I think I need to give in quotes. For each argument must be of type array or object. Just give 1 minute. I want to display only the value now because I know the key value. Just change. Still it is not accepting. For each okay. Oh, 1 minute. code. What I'll do is, I think here it is not. In the outside loop, I'll directly try to echo it. Okay, echo. Because when you are trying to access only one element, it is not required to use for each, I think so. Okay, so directly you can display the element using echo. Okay, what I was trying to do, like I am giving the index value and I am using for each. Okay, that is not correct. So echo, here you can directly try to use dollar underscore. Okay, now in the square bracket, so give the any one of the parameters. Okay, so I'll type server name. Just check it. I haven't slide, just give me a minute. You check. Here they used single quote only. That's why I'm not getting. Okay, you are getting, but here I need to give break. Okay. Okay, this is how you're going to get the output. Okay, so where you want to extract only the particular index value. Okay, so either request or address, if you want, you can just check with, we have query string. Okay, here I have not passed anything, query string. So if you have any like PHP part form element, and if you are submitting some value, then that you can see in the query string. Okay, so here you can just check it, where is query string. Okay, query string, it is empty because I'm not passing any value. Okay, let me just try to display this. Just change, give the key value. Okay, you can just say this is the address, remote address. So here I'm using local address, that's why I'm getting just a colon 1. Okay, if you are using in real time, if you are connected with a remote system, you will get the corresponding IP address here. Okay, so that's all about the server. Remaining you can just try with all other whatever they have specified in HTTP connection. Only thing is you should be knowing the proper key. Okay, then you will be able to access any information related to the server. If you are using the like whatever the variable key values are there, if you are not giving properly, you may not able to get it. So I'll just go with HTTP host. Okay, so HTTP host, whatever I'm using, it is local host. So like that you can access the particular information. Okay. If not, you can use for each condition and you can write the complete code. Is it clear now? So previous one is, I think that is gone. Okay. So you can just go with the for each. Okay. So depending on if they ask a dollar server explain, okay, so you should able to just write this piece of code and write at least few set of the server details, okay, with a specified key value you should able to uh, get the information. Okay, so or else from this list whatever I have taken now, you have the previous program server. Okay, that is changed. So where you got all this, no? So it's not required to write everything, at least the commonly used. Okay, the remote address, HTTP connection, HTTP host, query string. So at least some of the important information related to the server array you can explain. Is that clear? So that's all about the server array. You can just go through these things. Request method. Okay, I think you can just try. See, you will be able to get these methods, these details when you have prepared one program where it is having form and you are doing some submission of data and you are trying to access. In the same program, you are trying to display some of the information on the server using the dollar server array. Okay, so in that case, you will be able to get these details. Okay, what is the request method used? So here as of now I have not used any request. You can just check it where is request here. The request method here by default it is going to take get. Okay, so if you are very specific in writing program and submission of data with the post, then correspondingly you will be able to get the request method is post. Remote address, then user agent, then HTTP refer. It contains the address of the page that referred us to this one. Okay, so whichever the HTTP page that is referred to this particular page, so that information it is going to display here. And you should able to write some code with respect to this. You just try this code. Okay, this is with respect to HTTP refer. Okay, so in the next class we'll move on to files. Okay, how to upload files, how you can access this dollar file array to work with a file. Okay, and also we'll discuss in the next class cookies. Okay, so I think it will take a lot of time for files itself because I will just give coding with respect to reading writing files. Okay, okay, so I need at least one session for completing the file system. Okay, then we'll go to the